Wednesday night from 6, tune in to The Huddle with Paul Celesides, Aaron Kirkby-Rodia and Will Taylor for a lighter look at the EFL. Love it local this season on 98.1 Radio Eastern. EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Impeccable timing as we're underway in the second half from Belgrave South Recreation Reserve, and winning the tap for the Saints was Condor, forced it to ground level, and we'll have a secondary bounce. Just to recap, South Belgrave lead Upper Ferntree Gully 8-7-55 to 3-8-26. That's a 29-point lead. The local burger company, Andy Paolacci, a couple of around the ground scores.
Yeah, just quickly, the Basin commanding lead, 32 points over Park Orchards. We'll get to Division 4 in a second, guys.
So Upper Gully mover forward, streaming through the middle is Risley, sends it to full forward, a one-on-one contest and a bounce through for a goal. Great shepherding there from Godfrey, and it enables a goal to be kicked there by Tim Risley. Sensational work through the corridor, and Upper Gully, they needed that one. It was a team lifter. 4-8-32, they trail South Belgrave 8-7-55. We got 45 seconds in the second half on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, the ideal start to Risley, but getting to Division 4, we've got Donvale 5-7-37 over Killside 3-7-25. Coldstream doing it easily, 10-7-67 over Nudd and Wadding 4-1-25. No score from Eastern Lions, Surrey Park. Please get them through. Glen Waverley Hawks, a point over Forest Hill 5-4-34 to actually note they're 5 points down, 6-3-39. And the last one is Warrandyte doing it easily, 47 points up against Ferntree Gully 3-2-20. The Bloods 10-7-67.
That goal to Upper Gully was certainly the start that they needed to the third quarter.
Absolutely.
So a 23-point lead then to South Belgrave here at South Belgrave, 8-7-55 to 4-8-32. That was a crucial goal by Tim Risley. Hallinan, who was outstanding in the first half, kicks it forward. It's a lovely kick again. Just his kicks seem to be so well weighted, Tom Hallinan. And it's not all, I mean, he can drill it at a teammate just as well as he can kick one like that, where it was well weighted. Just put it in front of Alex Bacon's, and it's he's certainly an elite talent. So Alex Bacon's hasn't had a big day so far. He's kicked one. He's sort of threatened to cause some havoc, throwing his weight around. Nice kick off the boot, and again they get the quick reply. South Belgrave, it was the story of that first half. Anytime Upper Ferntree Gully got a goal, South Belgrave would always get one or two quickly in reply, and it's proven to be the case at the start of this third quarter as well, Ray Baird.
Yeah, look, I was just thinking the same thing, my Brad. Yeah, it's very demoralising for Upper Gully. You know, they fought hard to get that first goal of the quarter, and then straight away South Belgrave. But that's been the supremacy of South Belgrave all day. It's just the pressure they've been putting Upper Gully under.
So a steady and goal for the Saints gives them, or maintains, a 29-point buffer early in this second half. So the bounce once again affected. Condor won the tap for South Belgrave. A bit of a scrimmage in the centre, and we'll have a secondary bounce. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Radio Eastern 98.1 FM, or streaming live around the world on efl.org.au as Condor wins the tap from the centre. Sharked very well by Brown, who hacks it towards centre half forward. It went up in the air for a long time. Umpire called play on, touched off the boot, but it's Upper Gully with the numbers. Looping hand pass across to Higgleton. Higgleton wheels round onto the right foot to centre half forward. Spearing pass, hits Whiteman on the chest. 55 metres out from goal. It's a relatively open fourth line, but the Saints have cast their numbers back. And I'll tell you what, very, very confident is Whiteman, unlike some of the supporters in the crowd. Whiteman kicks into the pocket. That was a brilliant spot up, particularly with the congested forward line, and the mark taken by Hards deep in the pocket for the Kings. Well,
poor little Jordan Whiteman got a little bit of sound advice that he can't kick the distance, but he certainly delivered an inch-perfect pass there to his teammate, and for what should be, it should be Upper Ferntree Gully's fifth goal of the game.
Well, he's on an acute angle, but it's a very, very crucial kick in the context of this game. This bring the margin back to 23 points. Hards, well, it's off to the right and only a minor score. So Upper Gully 4-9-33, trail South Belgrave 9-7-61. We've got 4 minutes in the third term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Just on that angle you're talking about there, look, I'm just looking at the goals here. Look, from the forward pocket, even where we are in the caravan here, look, the goals are very open, you know, even when you're right on the boundary line.
Absolutely. He did just lean back on that kick, but for Ferntree Gully, or Upper Ferntree Gully, I should say, they need to kick 3 goals in a row. That's what they need to really get some momentum back in this match.
Wow, thumping kick in by Hallinan, a lot of distance.
Wow.
Then booted out of mid-air into the path of Bernardo.
Came off the bench.
Takes possession now, Bernardo. Darts and weaves his way around, does well, gets the kick in to Condor. Thanks very much, Bruce. Appreciate that. Benbow's kick. Benbow's kick hugging the boundary and over the boundary line. So will be a boundary throw, and it's 28 points the lead. Neat's kick, high up and under kick. This is Brown. Sam Brown swoops on the footy, and he's put it straight out of bounds on the full. Tell you what, Upper Ferntree Gully can ill afford to concede the next goal here. They really need the next one. It's, as we said, 28 points the margin. They've found goals really hard to come by. Not just today, but in recent weeks. Calvert there takes the mark, but the ball's going to have to come back to Bernardo. Push in the back. Free kick to Anthony Bernardo. High, long kick to the square. And he got the distance then easily, but he was well off target. Minor score for Bernardo.
One of the things in this quarter that I've noticed, boys, is that Big Brad Condor, the ruckman for South Belgrave, he's starting to get his hand on those hit-outs now, whereas in the first half, the two Upper Gully boys were controlling it.
So out of defence, Upper Gully trailing by 29 points. They need to move it forward with conviction if they're going to regain some control of this game. As Hickleton marks in the centre of the ground. Chipping pass towards centre half forward. Didn't find the intended target in bar. It falls to ground level. Hallinan was brilliantly tackled in the end by a couple of Kings defenders. The ball loose. It was jarred free, but the umpire was blindsided. Found that it would be held to him in a bounce. Centre half forward for Upper Ferntree Gully. 55 metres around from their goal. So the ball up. One again by Condor, has been dominant early in this third term in the ruck. Swinging round on the left foot with a brilliant pass, Tim Risley. And he's found Hickleton deep in the pocket for the Upper Gully side. And he can have a shot from about 45 metres out in a very acute angle. This is in the Odermatt pocket. I think they'll be crowning it at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve.
Distance won't be a problem.
No.
I think he'll kick this.
He should kick it.
Well, they're backing him in the caravan. Can Hickleton back himself from 45 metres? It's weaved across the face at goal, a 2-on-2 contest. And a brilliant spoil effected there by Neat. Sees it over the line, deep in the forward pocket for the Kings.
One thing I noticed about Tommy Hallinan there, just before he gets tackled, he goes very low to the ground. He keeps his feet, but he goes low to... That means that it's very hard.
Oh, a goal has been kicked in the meantime by Whiteman, who sharked the pack at the ruck contest. And that's a much-needed goal for Upper Ferntree Gully. They move on to 5-9-39, trailing South Belgrave by 23 points, 9-8-62. Sorry, Ray?
Yeah, Hayden Stanton wouldn't be happy with that goal there, just off the pack there. But no, with Hallinan, just before he's tackled, he goes low to the ground, but keeps his feet, which makes it very difficult for the tacklers to wrap him up.
Good to see some of the Upper Gully boys, some of their better players like Toole, just got involved in that play and really got the switch on there. Great kick by Risley as well. Some of their better players are getting their hands on the ball, and this is what they need if they're going to get back in this game.
They've got to get the next goal. They need 2 in a row.
23 points the margin now. And that was, great work from Geordie Whiteman to kick that last goal. Swooping onto the footy. Free kick here to Tom Hallinan. What a game he's had. Hallinan's kick to fall forward. Huge pack of players under it. Odermatt, I should say, coughed it up though to Dirksen. Dirksen's floating, kick up towards the wing. Whiteman working hard then, paddled it nicely to Hards. Whiteman again runs onto the footage. He's got a bit of spark about him. Kept the kick very low to Petrarca, and Matty Petrarca very diligently pointing out where the mark is, because I reckon this will be right on his distance, you would think.
So he's right on that line, 45-metre line, Brad.
So just to note, guys, there's 2 Whitemans out there. So Jordan Whiteman has been the one who's prolific.
Absolutely. He can kick this, Matty Petrarca. Gets very close to the man on the mark, and he's still complaining about where Rory Neat was standing on that occasion, but he just didn't get back far enough in any case from where Neat was. So, yeah, Matty Petrarca missing an opportunity out of bounds on the full. Free kick to South Belgrave. It's still 23 points the margin, Damo.
So the Saints move it from the fence. A whistle's been blown. It'll be a 25-metre penalty awarded against Godfrey on that occasion. It looked like he encroached the mark, Andy.
The umpire told him 3 times to come back a step, and he didn't. Yep.
So a disciplined play there, particularly when the game is on the line. 9.5 minutes into this third term. Chip pass finds Hallinan. Halloran deep in the pocket, the defensive pocket that is, and he finds Benbow at right half back. He's been very prominent, particularly throughout the centre of the ground. 2011 Morrish medalist at the Dandenong Stingrays in the TAC Cup. Kicks it towards the wing. It was ill-directed, and the mark taken by Dirksen for Upper Gully. You know, it was uncontested at the end. Dirksen wheels onto the right foot, sends a probing ball towards the half-forward flank. At the back, Petrarca read the footy well, but couldn't complete the mark. He's claimed by Benbow, a man half his size, and it'll be a bounce 55 metres around from the South Belgrave, or the Upper Ferntree Gully goal on the western wing. Right in front of the boundary umpire wearing shades. He looks like Roy Orbison as he affects the whistle. And it'll be a throw-in to be affected by that umpire. 60 metres around from the King's goal. Not far from our broadcast position here at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. The tap was ill-directed by Condor. Now Upper Gully on the fast break. They have certainly plenty of space on the outer side as Carroll tries to spot up a target in Petrarca. Can he run onto it in the pocket? Couldn't quite keep it in. And I'll tell you what, he's kicked it after the boundary umpire blew the whistle. I think it'll still be a throw-in deep in the forward pocket.
Got to say, Upper Gully did everything right there except for that final pass. They won the inside ball, and they were able to actually switch the play and spread it out to the fat side. And if that pass to Petrarca had worked out, that would have been one of the plays of the day. That was fantastic work otherwise.
I'll tell you what, the ball has gone into the Mount Dandenong National Park by the looks of it. They're struggling to find it back.
They've got Roy Orbison's got it now.
Yeah, exactly right. Received it from a pretty woman. So the throw in, about 25 metres around from the Upper Gully goal. They certainly need the next one if they're going to maintain some sort of effort to contest this game. The kick around the corner to no avail. It's marked on the last line of defence by Burley.
It's been good.
Burley by name, Burley by nature at full back for the Saints. Not a lot of options, so he attempts to kick it towards centre wing to a one-on-one contest between the two talls. Condor couldn't quite take the mark. At the back, Benbow amongst a bevy of Saints kicks it towards the half-forward line. They have numbers and options on his own. An uncontested mark taken by Bernardo. Chips the pass towards centre half-forward. At the back, Gilly affected the spoil for the Kings. He's wrapped up in a tackle, and we'll have a bounce at centre half-forward for the Saints. And I tell you what, 23 points. The game is certainly on the line at the minute.
It is indeed, and they're rallying here Upper Gully, but Withers gets the ball, gets the quick kick forward. Dyson was the target. Maybe got to push in the back. Strong tackle then from Clibbing Gatiss. And South Belgrave just looking to try to fend off this latest challenge from Upper Ferntree Gully. Bullock palmed it down nicely. Kick was smothered off the boot of Cassidy. And that was Dyson then who affected the smother. So boundary throw in. Forward pocket for South Belgrave. Bacon's doing the work, but it was Bullock who won the tap. Massive pack of players around this footy. It's going nowhere at the moment. Gee, it's great desperation. Who can get a quick boot to ball? And it was almost like a rugby scrum then. They finally managed to force it through.
You couldn't see the ball there.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but not a bad result in the end for Upper Ferntree Gully because just the one rush behind. So 9-9-63 South Belgrave, Upper Ferntree Gully 5-9-39, coming up to 13 and a half minutes gone in the third quarter.
Well, this is almost the calm before the storm. You feel as if Upper Gully can score the next one, perhaps they're a chance in this game, but if South Belgrave get the next one, they could almost close it out as the kick is hacked inside the Saints 50. Almost a mark taken by Bacons. Tries to feed it off in the Hines direction. Picked up around the corner. Bernardo snap around on the right foot, and he's kicked the goal. A crucial one. And South Belgrave move on to a 5-goal lead. They're 10-9-69. Upper Gully 5-9-39. We've got 14 minutes in this important third term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, just when this game demanded a bit of class, up steps Bernardo with an absolutely sumptuous snap there. And Sumptuous, yes. And look, I think that might be, as you said, the last hurrah for Upper Gully. I mean, there's still plenty of time in this match, but you just don't see them putting multiple goals together in this game. And they really
keep replying, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and they just need some consistent goal kicking to the Kings, and I can't see it happening at the moment.
No, Ray Baird was spot on. He said they need the next one. They need to get 2 in a row, and they can't. They just cannot seem to do that. We've had a few radio games like that this year where that's been the trend. This is no exception. There's a high up and under kick by Tom Hallinan. Very high kick, but what a great mark. Terrific concentration then by Odermatt to and courage to take that mark. It was in the air for so long. Came off hands to Adams, but Toole works his way back to safely pouch the mark. So Brenton Toole in the back pocket for the Kings. Just weighs up what's on offer, surveys the scene. There's not much to kick to, though. In the end, he went to a bit of South Belgrave tall timber, and they spoiled each other then. That was Gary Hughlin, who couldn't quite take the mark. So 30 points to the lead. It's sort of wavered between about 30 and between about 3 and 5 goals since midway through the first quarter. Lovely kick by Dyson. Got it to Benbow. Benbow does well. He's well tackled though, and that's holding the ball every day of the week. He had plenty of time, plenty of opportunity to dispose of it, and it was good tackle. Well played then, as the kick comes out to Toole once more. Brenton Toole for Upper Ferntree Gully. Very ugly kick to Calvert, but it sat nicely for him in the end. Calvert's little daisy cutter was effective. Got it to Houston. Nick Houston's high kick to centre half forward. Godfrey was the target. Had to go 2-on-1. That's an untidy kick. It's going to bounce close to the boundary line. Good strong tackle by Murray on Adams. And Adams there was crunched as he went to ground. And we'll have a boundary throw-in, and it's an appropriate time to cross boundary side thanks to Life Care.
Boys, most of the guys on both teams seem to have plenty of runs in their legs. Very few changes coming at the start of this third term.
Indeed, as Hallinan tries to break through the tackle after the ruck contest. Got the hand pass out to his teammate at Adams. Tried to scrimmage a kick around the boundary line, but to no avail as Lee intercepts. Gets the hand pass back with a 1-2. Looks to the outer side of the ground, the fat side as they call it, with more space. Hand pass over the top. Houston can run inside the 45. Shoot and fire towards goal. And he's done it. That's the goal that Upper Gully needed. And they're within 24 points. 6-9-45. Trailing South Belgrave 10-9-69. The game is still alive. 70 minutes in the third term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, well, they did exactly what I said last time, how they spreaded the play. They got a bit of a switch happening, and this time they profited from it. So great goal by Houston there. As we said, Ray, as we've been talking about, now it's their time. They've got to challenge this game. They've really got to kick the next. I actually think they need to kick the next 2 on top of that to really give themselves a chance in this match. And if they can do that for the three-quarter time siren, they'll have the momentum.
You're right, Andy. If they don't, that goal means nothing.
Exactly right.
Terrific goal then to Nick Houston, who I found out at half-time is sort of a very distant relation. It's my sister-in-law's nephew. And it was a terrific goal. I said it was distant. There's a quick kick by Hallinan.
It was the accurate one.
Hallinan's kick to half forward, but I didn't know that until half-time today. There's Dirksen taking the mark for Upper Ferntree Gully, who'll clear for the Kings. Done a good job down back. I reckon he's taken the honours in that battle with Bacons. Dirksen's kick out to the broadcast side of Belgrave South Reserve. Lovely kick by Carroll to Hickleton. Tate Hickleton on a long lead. Wants to move it on quickly. Sits the ball up for Godfrey, but Hallinan, who judged it beautifully, had that kick well scouted, and once again will repel, as he's done so often today for South Belgrave.
Yes, we come accustomed to his play this afternoon. Be certainly challenging for the best player on the ground as Jeffries marks in the opposite pocket, chips the pass, just reached the required 15 metres, and South Belgrave trying to orchestrate an attack from their defensive half as a kick comes from Burley. A high ball towards centre wing. At the back was Hines, tried to force it to ground level, and eventually it's taken over the boundary line by Whiteman, Jared Whiteman, and we'll have a throw in. We've
been singing Tom Hallinan's praises. I think what Upper Gully need to do is put a defensive forward onto him, because he's been flying third man up and taking uncontested marks at the end of the day. They need to put a bit of pressure on him and, just have some consistent use in that forward 50.
Hand pass comes out to Smith, out centre wing, and a brilliant sliding mark taken by Benbow. He's probably a tad too far out to score, 60 metres out. And he's hard up against the boundary line, so he opts to chip the pass inside 50. It was a poor kick in the end. Well taken eventually on the half volley by Risley, and Upper Ferntree Gully opt to take it out of defence. Brilliant, don't argue, effected. Now a chance for the Kings to move it to centre half forward, but again, Hallinan in the way, backing back with courage. But Upper Gully have the numbers in the clinches. Petrarca, brilliantly done. Sensational spoil by Neat, and he forces it over the boundary line. It looked a certain goal for the Kings until Neat came in and, to his name, affected the spoil.
Great play by Rory Neat, the ex-Roval player.
Yes, that's right. It was a sensational effort, defensive effort there by South Belgrave as a throw-in deep in the forward pocket for the Kings. Petrarca bumped off the football effectively by Smith. It's forced to ground level. Chance now, a plethora of players on top of it. Jeffries trying to break through his Adams. He's claimed by a King, and will have a bounce about 20 metres around from the Upper Gully goal. They're pressing, and you get the feeling if they get the next one and string 2 in a row to prevent South Belgrave from answering, it might be very effective in their quest to win the game. So the bounce, Godfrey tries to regain it after the tap. He's among a couple of Saints. He kicks it high towards full forward. It loops up in the air for a long time. Risley couldn't take it. Good attack on the football there by Brock Ferguson. He's claimed by a couple of Kings, gang tackled, and will have a bounce 30 metres around from the Kings' goal.
Look, you can't doubt Upper Gully's endeavour this quarter. They're going in a lot harder than they were for the first half.
And the Saints haven't run away with the game as yet. We expected that, but it hasn't occurred. That was a poor kick in the end. Good improvisation, but didn't affect it, Higgleton. And out of mid-air, his kick bounces over the boundary line, right in front of our broadcast position in the forward pocket. It's Belgrave South Recreation Reserve.
24-point lead for South Belgrave still. Boundary throw-in. It was Godfrey against Ferguson. Hickleton swoops on the footy. Burley was there like a goalkeeper to usher that one through. And a minor score. Gee, that was a... Although Hearts would be being pretty fast, they dodged a bullet there, Ray.
Yeah, look, great play by Todd Burley, because so often you see that happen and there's nobody in the square. He could have come out, but he stayed there.
Thumping kick by Hallinan. And again, he finds a teammate. He's done that on most occasions. Perry now got it from Ferguson. Perry's kick, but it's Liam Gully working his way back there to safely take the mark. And Upper Ferntree Gully will move it forward once more through Carroll. Brad Carroll's kick to the wing. Plenty of players competing for this footy. Whiteman was working hard there. Close to the boundary line, they keep it in. Laughlin's kick, looking for Petrarca, but again, he just can't sort of get a sniff of it, Petrarca, today. Hallinan does beautifully again. Charges out of defence.
Good kick.
Thumping kick up towards the wing. Nelson finds the footy now, shares it with Carroll. Nelson's handball was clever. That was good footy from Upper Ferntree Gully. Real sort of rainmaker of a kick. He belts it forward towards, or inside forward 50 now for the Kings. But Neat once more will clear, and the danger is averted for the moment, at least, for South Belgrave.
However, Upper Gully looking to formulate another foray inside their 45. The kick towards Godfrey, but brilliant mark in from the side again. Hallinan, he has been fantastic across that half-back post.
Got a man
Kicks out wide. Bernardo's marked. Bembo over the top on centre wing. Judged it to perfection. Judged it to better against Whiteman. Tries to break away. Falls to his knees and is claimed. The umpire had the whistle to the mouth and he opts for a ball up. So it'll be a stoppage 70 metres around from the Kings' goal between half-back and centre wing. So the ball up. Tap one again by Condor. He's been very effective in this third term in the ruck, and we'll have a secondary bounce.
As I said, Damo, Hallinan just continues to get the ball. They've just got to man him up, make him accountable, make the most of their forward 50 entries.
Certainly has been sensational this afternoon as Bembo tumbles a punt towards Hines at centre half forward. South Belgrave still have the numbers. Swooping onto the loose ball is Brown. Tries to weave his way through traffic. Likewise is Dyson. Kick on the left foot was partially smothered, and Upper Gully have the numbers as they attempt to clear from half back. The kick tumbles in the direction there of Risley. Swings back onto the left foot. towards centre half forward. It's a fickle bounce for Matty Petrarca, as we've seen all afternoon. Hickled at the hand pass. A fumble there by Lee was costly. Still a chance for Upper Gully. Swinging onto the loose ball, and a fine snap is scored by Ryan Murray, and that's the goal Upper Gully wanted. They're 7-10-52, trailing South Belgrave 10-9-69. It's a 17-point ball game, 24 minutes into the third term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, they got that second goal in a row that we've been crying out for, and great transition there. As I said, it was a little bit haphazard, but they kept the ball, well, they kept forcing the ball forward, and fell in the hands of Ryan Murray, who made no mistake. I think, as I said, they've got a man up, Hallinan still. The other thing I think they should do is put Petrarca into the middle. He's not seeing enough of the ball. I think he can really influence this game, and if he was in the middle, he would just have that chance.
What they've actually done in this quarter, they've actually created runners on that outer wing, and they're prepared to move the ball quickly.
17 points, the deficit now after the second goal by Ryan Murray for the day. And I reckon it's a good call, Andy. I reckon get to Hickleton deep in the forward line and get Petrarca sort of further out from goal. Got to try something to get those two really into the action. So the free kick goes to the Kings. Lachlan, who's really come into it in this third quarter, shared it with Marr. Off to Risley. Hards it was, sorry. Hards had his kick smothered. Good, strong tackle then by Bryce Hards. And he was desperate to make amends then after having his kick smothered. So it was Jeffries then, Darren Jeffries, who affected the smother. Hards now takes possession, but he's all wrapped up. It's definitely been a lift in intensity in this third quarter, really or particularly from the Kings, but South Belgrave are matching it. Bernardo, Jeffries to Withers. Withers kept it out in front of himself nicely, but then ran out of space. He was confronted by Lachlan. And once more, it will be a ball up. 17 points. You just sort of feel that, what are we, 26, coming up to 26 minutes gone in this third quarter. So a goal now for Upper Ferntree Gully would be absolutely priceless in the context of this game. Bacon's, so a goal for either side would be massive at this stage. Bacon's kicked a true centre-half forward position. Plenty of holding on, and the free kick will go to Odermatt, who has 2 goals today.
Cometh the moment, cometh the man, as they say.
What Hayden Stanton's just done, boys, he moved Bacon's out to centre-half forward, and he dropped Odermatt back into the pocket, and they were the 2 players that were involved in that particular passage of play.
He hasn't had a huge day, but he certainly contributed, and he loves this situation. You'd back him in to kick this when the pressure's on. Be a very, very handy goal here for South Belgrave. Lee Odermatt. Look at that. No problem at all. Never looked like missing. And Odermatt has his 3rd. South Belgrave have their 11th on the board. 11-9-75. Upper Ferntree Gully 7-10-52, so it's back out to a 23-point lead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
You're right, Brad. He hasn't had a terrific day, Odermatt, but if you can get 1 goal a quarter out of your centre-half forward, you know, he's done a workman's-like effort, and there's still a quarter to go. But that's a goal at South Belgrave. They had to get that goal now just to stem the flow a little bit because it's so late in the quarter. They cannot let Upper Gully get another goal, though.
So a steadying goal, the 3rd major for Lee Odermatt. Gives South Belgrave a handy 23-point buffer on the cusp of the final change. Back in the centre. The tap one for the Saints, and eventually it's roved and sharked well by Bernardo. Swings the hand pass over to a fantastic player in Bembo towards centre-half forward, and the mark has been claimed and paid by the umpire. Shoving 2 players out of the way was Alex Bacon's, and I tell you what, brute strength prevailed on that occasion. He took the mark at centre-half forward. He can go back and have a shot from 45 metres out directly in front.
As you said, brute strength, and he just let Joe Dirksen know that, hey mate, the ball's in my hands and not yours.
I don't know who got the biggest shot, Bacon's or his opposition player, because it just landed in his hand somehow.
Yeah, well, Dirksen's not happy with it, just sort of in a bit of a scrimmage here. They just need to let Bacon take his kick.
Well, the almost capacity crowd will be in full voice if Bacon scores, and he does so. He converts, and the Saints with 2 quick goals. They've done it all afternoon. They've replied when tested, and now they hold a 29-point lead. 12-9-81, leading Upper Ferntree Gully 7-10-52. 28.5 minutes into this third term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And with that goal, Damo, it's now 4 goals 2 apiece for both sides. So for all their work, Upper Gully, they haven't brought the deficit back at all.
Well, you
by
said
the
it
end
was
of the third quarter.
you said it was a crucial time in this match, Brad, and yeah, look, if those 2 late goals, it just undoes all their good work for the Kings.
It does indeed. 29 points the lead, and they've given it their best shot in this quarter, the Kings, but they just haven't been able to bridge the deficit. They got to within, I think it got to 15 points at one stage, but in any case, at the moment, it's a pretty comfortable 29-point lead for South Belgrave. So that is the end of the third quarter. 12 goals, 9, 81 for South Belgrave. Upper Ferntree Gully, 7, 10, 52.